Welcome to The Reflective View. I'm your host, Bonnie Gilgallon, formerly the host of The Desert Scene for 14 years on K News Radio, as well as a news anchor. I'm an actress, singer, and voiceover artist, and very excited to be part of the show. And we're here with Patricia DeJoseph, who is an internationally known psychic and life coach. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Patricia.
Thank you, Bonnie. As always, it's so fabulous working with you. I think we're an amazing team because you always bring out the best in me. I've been doing this work for 40 years. I have clients word of mouth that has taken me all over the world, which I am very proud of and I think is a pretty awesome compliment. I work from the heart. I work on a very positive level because I know our thoughts generate and create our reality, and so it is extremely important for us to police our thoughts and realize through empowering us with our thinking, we can truly create miracles. So I'm very, very proud of my work. I have worked on a variety of situations, including police work, finding missing persons, pets, objects, jewelry, you name it. Worked with love relationships. I've worked a lot with people who have drug addiction and alcoholic problems. But I would say the majority of my business is on a professional level. I work with many celebrities and people who are in high places in corporations that are, trying to make major business decisions, and they rely on my expertise. I even am proud to say I had somebody buy a house one time, sight unseen, just based on my description and what I felt about the house. That was a little scary because a house is a pretty expensive venture, so I was really happy that they were happy with the results. But I think I've covered just about every area in life you can possibly think of, both small and large. And I'm really excited about today. It's our second episode of The Reflective View, and we plan on doing many, many more. And we have an amazing featured guest today, which I will let Bonnie introduce.
We sure do. Michael Myers is a certified hypnotherapist and certified instructor of hypnosis and a 40-year meditator. Thanks for being our guest today, Michael.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Patricia.
Oh, you are so welcome. I'm happy to have you here and a part of this.
So tell us, for the uninitiated, to explain a little bit about what hypnosis is.
Hypnosis is a very simple natural state. And the idea, the benefit of hypnosis is it allows the person to reprogram that part of themselves that they're coming to the hypnotherapist to deal with. So for example, if you're a smoker, well, I help you believe and be the non-smoker. From that aspect of your beliefs, you are what you believe in the subconscious mind. So if you believe that you are a non-smoker in the subconscious mind, you must be a non-smoker.
So would you say that the hypnosis process kind of reprograms the brain? Is that a fair description?
I would say yes, that it absolutely does. Not the conscious mind, but the subconscious mind. And that really is a very important distinction, because it is the subconscious mind that we outpicture, that we live, that we're living right now. So that if I have an attitude, a thought, a belief about camera performance, then I'm going to outpicture that right here and now. So whatever my thoughts and attitudes are about my on-camera performance, I will be exhibiting that before the audience.
It's interesting because I've been reading a lot, trying to work a lot in the last few months on self-talk and subconscious beliefs. So, for instance, let's say you really want to get a raise or promotion at work, and consciously you say to yourself, I really want this raise, I really believe that I deserve this raise or promotion, but subconsciously you don't believe that. That is going to get in your way, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And self-talk is really, really important. And thank you for mentioning that, because specifically when I'm working with golfers, I have a course, The Mental Game of Golf, at Live Well Clinic, which I have an office in the Gold Clinic. And that is a very significant aspect of all golf games, is the self-talk that they have as they're approaching the ball before the game, when they're talking to their friends after the game. And the idea is that they must make an agreement with me that they can no longer have negative self-talk. So right now, that person you're talking about with the Rays, I would suggest that they have absolutely no negative self-talk.
And may I interject with that? Most of us, at some point or another, I would say probably all of us in some part of our lifetime, we buy into fear. We think of all the things that may go wrong, or that somehow could come up, some complication that could interrupt where we want to go. But we create those complications, and we're not aware of the fact that our fears actually manifest what we're afraid of. So when we condition someone to not allow those fears to come into play, to give energy to them, we're all subject to it. I think we all, it's human nature to experience fear. But then we have the choice to not acknowledge and not accept that fear, and to replace it with positive statements, and definitely with using hypnosis. I think hypnosis is such a wonderful tool because it bypasses the conscious mind and goes directly into the subconscious. And I'll let you take it from there. But.
Well, thank you very much, Patricia. The aspect of I like to use my two hands for this, this being the conscious mind, this being the subconscious mind, that we have critical factor in front. And that's really, really important, because all of our affirmations and all of our desires are here in the conscious mind. And we're trying to get those into the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind, one, must do what it's told, and two, knows exactly how to do it. Specific to you and me, which will be different, but nonetheless, it is already pre-wired to know exactly how to do what it is supposed to do.
I think if we think of our subconscious as like we program a computer.
Yes.
It simply reacts to what we program into it.
Absolutely. And I use a lot of computer analogies, because today people can really relate to computer analogies. They're visual, they're kinesthetic, and they're auditory, because our computers, you have mail. Talk to us. Yeah. So yes, it is something that it is unfortunate to some degree that parents and teachers and authority figures do not realize that when they are in someone's face, so to speak, and as you get closer and closer to somebody, that as you reach their personal space, critical factor starts to become more likely to step aside. And that is really important, because if you want to use this deliberately, then the teacher or the parent could get up close and be from that authority viewpoint and say, "You're incredible. You're just an absolutely amazing human being."
And that's another key thing.
Absolutely.
Is to use rewards, to use key positive words. So much is is driven by negative responses. Yes. You did this wrong, you did that wrong. Yeah. Especially when we're growing up as children. Our parents want to keep us safe from, say, like burning our fingers on the stove. So don't go near the stove, you'll get hurt. Right. We have all this negative program that we get from individuals around us. So we come to think in our own space that we need to keep reminding ourselves of things that we need to avoid, rather than take on what pluses, what positive energy can really manifest in our lives by programming the right information into the computer.
Well, I think all of us grow up with such negative voices in our head.
Definitely.
I call it the committee in the head. The committee's talking again. You're this, you're that, you screw that up. So it's really difficult to change that. So I want to ask you two questions. Number one, how can you facilitate that change? And number two, sort of a digression, if you have people that come into the hypnosis process with resistance, how do you handle that?
Okay, well, let me first talk about the resistance, because I think many people have that, and I think it's a common everyday experience, because people are uncomfortable with things that they don't know. So how I deal with that is, first I explain what hypnosis is, what it's not, and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. To me, I find that creates a great deal of relationship,
trust,
rapport,
yeah,
which is critical.
And one thing I think is that so many people have a misconception of hypnosis and think you're controlling their mind, and they're afraid to give away that control. So maybe you could interject something along that path.
Well, absolutely. Thank you again, Patricia. There is absolutely no control, because all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So all I'm doing is I am facilitating, I am guiding the person into the right state that I know is the right state to do, one, bypass the critical factor, and two, give the suggestions that we have agreed upon that is going to help that individual to basically write that new program of the beliefs, attitudes, emotions. Now, how to make it more impactful is by my creating more emotionality. So if I make it more dramatic, if I make it more appealing, that is really important for the session to be more effective. And repetition. So many times it will take 2 or 3 sessions, because these things don't happen exactly overnight.
Well, it took years for the habit or the negative voices to appear, so it's going to take a little while to get rid of them.
Yes.
Right.
One thing along that statement, or in regard to that statement, is we are creatures of habit. Mm-hmm. And it honestly doesn't take us too long to form a habit, but it is formed by repetition. Mm-hmm. So the same thing in applying positive thought. When we keep repeating something, the mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality. And if we keep reinforcing that thought, then suddenly the mind says, oh, this must be real, and starts to manifest it as reality.
Absolutely.
Just one other quick thing. Just from my own experience, when I was very young, I became fascinated with hypnosis when I was just in my teens. And we went to a couple of shows where, they hypnotized somebody and they did crazy things, mm-hmm. and that kind of thing. And I think people sometimes are afraid
fearful
because of that, because they think, oh, gee, I'm going to, they're going to tell me to do these really crazy things, and maybe they'll even tell me to do something that's really wrong, like going out and killing someone. I mean, that's a pretty extreme thing. But our minds are so programmed that we are not going to do anything that we know seriously it is against what we believe.
Right, absolutely. And I usually will say that in the session to put the person at ease, so that they realize that I have no control over them or anybody, and therefore they are in control, and anything that would be so abrasive would bring them out of that trance state, and they say, I think not, and they'd leave my office.
Okay, I wanted to ask you a question. If someone came to you, what would hypnosis do for them, and why would they choose coming to you for hypnosis rather than going to a doctor that would be covered by insurance? For instance, to quit smoking.
Right. Many times because they would prefer the hypnosis, because there is no drugs, there's no downside, it's a positive aspect. And at this point, unfortunately, the doctor's visit might have some level of coverage with your insurance, and this is usually not covered by insurance, so it's self-paid. but the people still, in spite of that, will pay out of their pocket because they feel this is more of an alternative that they prefer rather than taking a drug that's going to have a variety of side effects.
And why should they come to you rather than someone else? And also we want to make sure we get your contact information in here.
Well, as far as me, I feel the reason why they would come to me is because as they hear me, as they look at me, they feel that I am the person for them. We all have our population, we all have our people that we're here for, as I'm sure you appreciate. So consequently, it's the aspect that with me they would have the rapport. The 40 years of meditation, I feel, gives me a leg up on most everybody else. Of course I would think that.
Got to toot your own horn, absolutely.
Well, I mean truly, because the idea being that that 40 years of meditation has created an intimate relationship to the state that I am guiding my clients to. So that because of that, then I am much more able to guide them into that deeply relaxed state and then facilitate from there and connect them to those resources that are infinite and ever present.
So how could someone get a hold of you?
Well, they can basically call me at 760-408-3000. They could go to my Facebook at Michael Myers Hypnotherapist. They could go to my website, hypnomeditation.net. They could, I have offices in La Quinta at Live Well Clinic. I also, which is 760-771-5970, which I do the hypnomeditation on an almost daily basis. Then I also do my hypnosis for golf, win the mental game of golf, with people spending thousands on their clubs and thousands on their pros and lessons. I find it's really important to be like the champion, like Tiger and Nicholas, and win the mental game of golf.
Well, Michael Myers, thank you so much for being our guest today. It's fascinating, and I would highly recommend that you partake of Michael's services. I've been to some of his hypnomeditation classes, which were fabulous. Patricia, you have some closing words, and also how do we contact you?
Well, let's go with the contact first. And I would really recommend all of you actually calling me, because I'm sure at one point or another there are things that I can help you and guide you through to find the perfect solution, to find more happiness and success in your life. So there's multi reasons for using my services. I kind of explain it as like going to a travel agent. We can know where we're leaving from and the destination we're going to by using the knowledge of a travel agent. You get so much more benefit out of your trip. You get to find a lot of places that you probably would not have known about otherwise. So my number that you can always reach me at is 760-578-6929. I have some wonderful workshops and upcoming events at Buddha by the Sea, which is located here in Palm Desert on Highway 111. And you can find out the schedule on those and things that are going on besides that at my Facebook address, which is, forgot it now, I'm sorry, Facebook.com, Facebook/AskPat.com. And I wish you'd actually go and view our other wonderful videos that we will be, already are on YouTube. And simply go to YouTube and type in Psychic Patricia DeJoseph. You will see the entire list there, all most helpful. So I would say the last thing I'd like to put out there is a positive affirmation, because I believe affirmations really are one of the greatest tools. That, meditation, and visualization are three powerful, powerful tools guaranteed to enhance and empower your life. So for today, I always love key power words like magnet and miracle and magical. So I've encompassed all three of those in this one. It's a little bit long, but hopefully you'll take part or all of it and put it to good use. And that is, I am a powerful miracle magnet today. I believe I can. I know I can attract amazing, happy, positive, magical changes in my life now. And I celebrate receiving them with great joy and gratitude. Being grateful is so important. So God bless all of you. Thank you so much for both of you. And I think we did a dynamite show together. I'm sure everyone's going to benefit greatly from it. And I hope you're going to have so many people knocking at your door, you won't know what to do with all the business.
That would be wonderful. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Patricia.
You are
Thank you,
so
Bonnie.
welcome.
We'll see you next time on The Reflective View.